I was walking home late last night down the cobbled streets of the sour, whiskey-smelling south side of New York City. I'd watched a Colombian movie, Spanish with English subs, Mamo, about an estranged mother and her daughter's daughter, and how the three briefly find love, comfort, and solace in one another. The girl walking ahead of me on the footpath was on the phone. She was crying, and every 4 or 5 sentences she was repeating, "How can you do this to me? How can you leave me alone?" Now, I love people who are unashamed to cry. There is an honesty in their tears, a vulnerability in their desperation, an indiscretion in their warmth and abandon that even the best of us have to fake in our best composed moments. I love sitting with their stories, and so I followed this girl until I had to cross over to the other side. Have I really been able to go over to the other side? I thought of my last 2 breakdowns in the last couple of years. The letters I had sent had come back unanswered. All 61 of them, I seem to have sent them to a wrong address. In my teens and early 20s, I never cried when the lovers came and went. I had the kind of confidence and arrogance that comes with youth. I knew they could leave, or they would come back, and even if they didn't, other lovers would. But by the time I started approaching 30, I lost that faith in them and in me. And so I cried the last 2 times they left, like that girl on that phone repeating, "How can you do this to me? How can you leave me alone?" I wanted to stop that girl and shake her up and say, we need to be young again. We need to be shameless, reckless, brave, uncaring, and hopeful. There are too many of us unseeing the dreams we had once dared to chase. I wanted to tell the girl that I too was her someday, that I too had cried and begged and pleaded with them to stay, but you cannot make lovers stay when they are determined to go away. My love for those people had been hypothetical, assumptions based on insufficient evidence. I wanted to tell her there is no beauty in fighting madly, maniacally for love where there is none. Because some things look good only in the movies. In life, they tend to bring hurt and humiliation. I wanted to tell the girl she needs to apologize to herself on behalf of all those people who had not. If a sorry is what you're waiting for, let me tell you, it will not come. If a sorry will help you move on, then do say a sorry to yourself, the one that they won't say, and then do move on. I wanted to tell the girl that what follows phone calls to unwilling lovers is regret. I regret that I had humbled myself for them. I regret that my folks never taught me how to live by myself, and how my neighbor and my teacher and my cat and my cousin and my God and my dog and my horse always spoke of adjustments and compromises and love, prescriptions to a happy life, surrounded by family and friends. There was no prescription on how to make it on my own, on how to watch a movie on my own in a theater full of people on how to order for a 3-course or a 2-course or a 1-course or any meal at all for myself in a restaurant alone, surrounded by promises and sweet kisses. On how to go to a picnic or a park or a flea market on a Sunday afternoon on my own, alone. On how to live with myself, by myself, on my own, alone. I wanted to tell the girl that your body will not be an Airbnb room, my friend. That your body will not be their holiday destination, their weekend getaway, their staycation. You are worth more. I wanted to share with her the prescription on how to make it on her own. But by the time I got the medication, that girl was long gone. Hello, and welcome to my poetry world. A space where I can be messy and wild and brave and free. I write about homes, homecoming and home leaving, about memories and forgetting, amnesia. I write about bodies and what it means to be human in times like these, so broken and bruised, so fractured and fragmented. A senior male poet had once suggested that I start treating writing as just another job, like a banker, or a construction worker, or a clerk in an office. But poetry is not just another job for me. I cannot turn it into a routine. In fact, it is the very antithesis of routine. Routine sucks the soul out of my poems. I want to feel, I want to absorb, I want to let the thoughts marinate in me. I need to let my words brew before I express. I cannot write a sonnet every day of the week for months on end and then come up with a sonnet sequence at the end of a year. I'm not a disciplined writer like that. My poetry is about somebody piercing the knife in through my ribcage and yanking my laughing heart out and then eating it delicately, fork, knife, and all, muscles, blood, veins, tissues. That kind of poetry is visceral. It is deeply felt. There's nothing fashionable about it. It was never meant to be. I write for myself first, and then for the reader. It's the only way I can be honest, heal myself, and then hold space for others to find healing through my words. Poetry can be a profoundly lonely experience, but it is also deeply cathartic. And what is catharsis? Well, Aristotle borrowed this phrase from an ancient Greek medical practice where the physician would induce vomiting in the patient to cleanse the body of toxins and impurities. Poetry is my process of purification and cleansing. This is how I let my trauma out, all those nights of sleeplessness, the anger, the desperation, the hope, the fear, the dreams, and the desires. They come out on paper. The ink is my blood, except it's not red, it's blue-black. There's nothing posh or polished or preachy about that kind of poetry. Too many people are taking to poetry for the wrong reasons these days, to follow trends. What should we write about? Ooh, feminism is having a moment, let's write feminist poetry. Or, it's sustainability season, let's get some eco-poetry going. Where is our commitment to the craft? We are not honing this art, because poetry, like every other art form, requires patience and passion and practice. Think about a swimmer. How many hours, how many years this person needs to swim in the pool before they are ready to even think of swimming in the sea. Think of the hours of riyaz that make a singer. Think about the talim an Odissi dancer has to go through before she can even imagine performing on stage in front of an audience like this. What then is our meditation, our sadhana as writers? Well, we need to think independently. We need to feel more keenly, and we need to read. Read, 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 and then read some more. Read everything you can lay your hands on. I cannot insist on this enough. If you do not have the time to be a reader, I'm afraid you're not ready to be a writer yet. And this is especially important in this current climate, in an environment that is surrounded by content, creation and consumption. An environment of instant gratification, of short-form videos. We've stopped reading. We've stopped engaging with anything deeply. Add to that the AI revolution. How many of you, how many of us has heard of Studio Ghibli? A couple of months ago, all of us were turning into cartoon Ghibli versions of ourselves on social media. And I don't want to talk about the threats to privacy in this context. I think we surrendered our privacy the very first time we uploaded our selfie online. I don't even want to talk about the threats to the environment that every chat prompt is posing. These are subjects of another talk. I want to specifically talk about the dangers to the artistic community. Write me a song like Taylor Swift. Compose me a poem like Somrita's The Girl on the Phone. Paint me a picture like Frida Kahlo. And Control, Alt, Create. With one click, AI will give you something that looks vaguely like a poem, and who's paying the price for it? The artist. Just because some people want to be in vogue and want to follow trends. With one click, we are erasing the hours of work that Frida or Somrita or Taylor had put into their art. Let's not fall into that trap. AI is here to stay. I cannot deny it. I cannot fight it. But AI is a tool, just like all scientific development, just like languages, just like religions. And the user decides what action the instrument will perform. So why are we not using AI to make the business of living convenient instead of making art convenient? Bring me AI. I want AI to scrub my bathroom floors. I want AI to do my laundry and my dishes. Give me AI in the kitchen. Let's free generations of women from the Sisyphean cycle of making the perfect gold chapati. All these women who for years have sacrificed their youth and vitality at the altar of patriarchy and a happy family unit. Let's send these women and children who did not have access before back to school while AI does the dirty job. Better still, get AI to bring education into the bedroom and prevent these women and children and other marginalized folks from getting harassed every time they step out. In the train, in the tram, on the bus, in a cab, groped and catcalled and eve-teased, or worse, shot in the head if they dare to seek knowledge. I don't need AI to write poetry for me, because even if AI can write on my behalf, it cannot feel on my behalf. It mimics empathy. AI is imitative, it is not creative. It's like that genie in a bottle. The more fuel you add, the more data you feed it, the better it gets, until it turns into a Frankensteinian monster and you know not what you will do with it. Let's take a step back. Let's step away from the screens, walk out in the open, and feel the sun. Feel the rain on your face and your skin and your arms and your body. AI can't feel it for you. Let's walk into abandoned monasteries and dimly lit churches and forgotten cafes and hidden bookstores. Listen. The winds and the rustling leaves, the screeching sirens and the war cries are trying to tell you a story about yourself and about real people of flesh and blood, if only you dare to listen. Do not poetry for IG. Poetry is supposed to be raw and rambling. It's supposed to be vulgar and vulnerable. It's supposed to be angry and anti-establishment, meditative and therapeutic, and every other feeling that you can dare to feel. Poetry is supposed to be real, not fashionable. Shall we keep it that way then? Thank you so much for your time.